Hey there everyone, this is Tom. We're doing the weekly MonTac Round-Up for May 3rd. So we had a bunch of matches happen on the weekend, absolute bangers that have completely altered the ladder, and a bunch of mainstays are now off it. So let's get on to it, shall we? We have Rich Potato, who was rank 2, taking on rank 3 Apocalyptic. This is a massive match considering it is a contender match, and the winner of this match will be taking on Robo. So SMR Robo, definitely the champion at the stage. Very dominant in his last defense over Misfire. Definitely made a lot of pressure on the other guys coming up the ranks. But yeah, in this match, it was you could tell it was very tense. Especially when you're adjudicating it, you could see both players' hands and how they were interacting. It was just absolutely fantastic to see. But anyway, this was definitely a very strong match where Rich Potato, he unfortunately did brick pretty hard at the start, which allowed Apocalyptic to gain a sizable momentum, really putting him against the ropes. It was actually got down Rich Potato to about 4 health, which was about 11 health down from Apocalyptic at 15, which definitely, at that stage, a lot of the players that were just watching were just thinking this could definitely be over any moment. And Apocalyptic was able to actually even get off double Gemini using his last call to take out about 10 cards in total from Potato's hand. That's about a third of his deck as well. So with all these happening, it was pretty obvious to a lot of the people during the match what was going to happen. But in one last effort, using his Beowulf, Rich Potato was able to pull the win out of nowhere, turn it completely around, and have the very last card in the game, which means everything was in the perish pile except for one card on both players' field. No one had anything except for one card, which was Potato's Beowulf, left standing, nothing in the asset pile. With his final effort, he was able to break through Apocalyptic's forces and get that win, which was absolutely incredible. And definitely earned him that match. Now he'll be taking on SMR Robo next weekend for the title. Very interestingly there. And Apocalyptic will unfortunately go to 6th out of the top 5, but he's definitely going to be a future champion in the future, I believe. Definitely very interesting in there. We actually got another interesting match. We have Tailsweet taking on Shadow Galaxy Wolf. This is not only a mirror match, this is actually a veteran match, where we have Tailsweet and Shadow Galaxy Wolf, two of the most, they've been here for so long and playing so many matches that they've played a lot of the same players. They've both played a lot of the top ranked guys like Charging Badger, Apocalyptic. I think they've both even played SM Robo. They've played just a lot of these mainstays that are currently around, but they've never played each other. So it was absolutely awesome to see these two go at it. It was actually quite an even contest. They were both using the same deck, Torosian Mistress, but it was definitely very tricky. This definitely got very interesting towards the end, where Shadow Galaxy Wolf was able to really put the pressure on, activating a double Predator to really put Tailsweet in the corner. But he was able to use his Torosian Guard and save it. Now, because this was not a top 5 match, there was a 10-minute time limit, and with that Torosian Guard, Tailsweet was able to hold off Shadow Galaxy Wolf just long enough to make sure he will be tying that match. Definitely a very back and forth match. Who knows how it would have gone if it continued. After that, Shadow, since they both got a point, Shadow will move up a spot to 8th, and Tailsuit will go to 9th. So definitely very good for Shadow. She'll actually get to go into the top 8 right now, and Tailsuit's only 1 point away, really. Next match we had was Squishy versus Misfire. Now this was interesting. This was even more interesting. Now I've said that a lot today, but this match was absolutely incredible. The previous match these two had actually had, it was outside the top 5, which meant that there was a 10-minute extra time limit, and this was actually Squishy's very first match, which he tied with Misfire. Now, Misfire is one of our best players, so the fact that Squishy was able to even survive just that one match in his first match, he's never played card games before, was absolutely incredible. So, having these two go at it again, except now you've got that unlimited extra time, which means there had to be a winner, and there had to be a loser. So, this was a pleasure to watch, just straight off the bat. Torosian Mistress from Misfire taking on Squishy's Sunwalker Mistress. So, very similar and then yet very different decks. Definitely very tough for Squishy. He was put on the ropes a lot. He was just getting battered by Misfire over and over and over again. Especially with Misfire current using all of his Torosian Guards, just current always every turn cutting off Squishy before he could even do anything. The pressure was just absolutely brutal to watch. And Misfire especially using, even though Squishy was able to survive into extra time. It was definitely before that you were worried that maybe Misfire not going to get the health points, because even though he was so dominant, he was actually struggling to get those health points because he had such a full board he couldn't play Elizabeth to get health. So Misfire was able to, in the last couple of seconds, get his Elizabeth out, get those health points, and force it into extra time. Now this was where a lot of people predicted Misfire was going to take it over. There was far more monsters on Misfire's side. He hadn't even used any of his synergies yet. But in a stunning turn of events, Misfire was left with only one monster in play, while Squishy had 3 monsters in play, forcing pressure, and unfortunately for Misfire, he didn't have any of the conditions fulfilled to even play a single synergy. This meant that not only did Squishy get through and take down Misfire's Elizabeth, leaving him defenseless, he won the match. Just leave it there. He won the match, and Misfire was unfortunately unable to even play a single synergy. Definitely a heartbreaker for him. But that is how the game goes sometimes. Squishy was definitely running out of cards, and yeah, it was absolutely amazing how he was able to circumvent those Parabians that Misfire was just bombarding him with. With this, Squishy moved to about 4th, and Misfire would have moved to about 6th after that, but Misfire actually had another game this weekend. This was because, unfortunately, Crowler wasn't available this week, so we had to have Misfire step in. But this meant that Misfire got to have a second chance at redeeming himself. But it would not be against just anybody. He would be taking on 5th-ranked Charging Badger. Charging Badger, notorious for his Sky Soldiers and applying that incredible pressure, especially with the Sky Warfare and Northern Air General. This was not going to be an easy win if it was to be a win for Misfire. Misfire definitely coming in the same deck, Trocian Mistress, Charging Badger, Sky Soldier Angel. Absolutely incredible. Misfire coming in, and he was relying heavily on those Trocian Sharks, so it was very tough for him, but he was able to get to his Sharks to about, his strongest one was about 3,000, a little bit over that possibly, and his other one was about high 2,000, so like 2,800, 2,600 along those lines. But he was able to just absolutely apply that pressure, and Badger came in strong and just hit him with the Beowulf and the Southern Air Journal, definitely putting on the pressure. And he even kept going forward. You know, he used his Sky Soldiers, and while he was down on health, he was the majority dominant force, continually over and over and over again, pushing Misfire to the edge. And it was only in those last few seconds where a decision was made by Badger to, instead of him bringing out an Elizabeth that would raise his health points, he decided to go for the extra aggressive play and bring out his Wolfman. But unfortunately, it did cost him. As soon as the timer went off, unfortunately Badger was at 14 health while Misfire was at 15. So Misfire won that game, redeeming himself, pushing him up to 3rd, and Badger will unfortunately now go to 10th. So a mainstay there, very unfortunate to see such a great player put in that spot, but he definitely played very well there. So anyway, that was the matches that occurred, the other couple of matches that were there. I'm definitely looking forward to a couple matches this week. I'm not sure what will be occurring right now, but the ladder has completely changed, I will assure you. It is very different to what it was last week. So as we go into the ladder, keep in mind, another thing is, this tournament coming in June will be top 12 only, which means only the top 12 will be able to make it. So by the end of May, this month, if you're in the top 12, you qualify. If you don't qualify, you'll be put into other matches just to make sure you get those points throughout the month. But as I read it now, here are the rankings. In first place, SM Robo, 10 points. In second place, Rich Potato, 9 points. In third place, Misfire, 6 points. In fourth place, Squishy with 5 points. In fifth place, World with 5 points. In sixth place, Apocalyptic with 5 points. In seventh place, Crowler with 3 points. In 8th place, Shadow Galaxy Wolf, finally making it back on 3 points. 9th place, Tail Sweet on 3 points. 10th place, definitely unfortunate, you've got Charging Badger on 3 points. You've got Shadow in 11th place on 2 points. You've got in 12th place, Doozy on -1 point. And that would be the top 12 at this stage, but that can all change by the end of the month. Going into 13th, we have Tamoose on -1. We have 14th place, Albin on -1. And on 15th place, we have Fury Card Battlezone on -4, I believe. But anyway, that is the full rankings for this week. Definitely very interesting heading into the next weekend. We have got a banger of a title match between SM Robo taking on Rich Potato, and it's going to be an absolute barn burner. Best of 3 match. These guys have both won against the other. Incredible, both Australians, both know each other in real life, both are friends, both want to show they are the best in this game, and here's the best part, both have access to set 3 archetypes, which means this is going to be very interesting. Alright then, that was the weekly roundup, top 12. Remember, make sure you make it. I'll see you there. This has been Tom. Have a good one.